a video on this character. Didn't really think I want to do that for the start of 2023. At least, the first few videos of 2023. But I guess we're here because I was going to do this last year, but I had a big trip to New York, and Las Vegas. So, do I really want to talk about this annoying, manipulative, very treacherous bitch? No, but considering that Ren and Itsuki got a lot of hate during season 3, I can't help but want to talk about it. But, okay, let's go over what is the whole point of this. The point of this is I want to go over how did she manage to manipulate such smart characters. Or I guess smart in the terms of they know the type of person she is. But before we even can talk about these two, we must talk about the first people that she has manipulated and betrayed. That being our main protagonist, Naofumi, and local dumbass, Motoyasu. So, let's get started on how the fuck did this bitch manipulated literally all of the heroes. This is probably the easiest to say because it is the catalyst of everything in the story of the rising of the shield hero, but let's go over it anyway. Naofumi being manipulated by this bitch is the most unluckiest part he had to deal with, since at the beginning he wasn't a hateful or someone who distrusts everyone type of person upon first meeting him. Since he was the one summoned to be the shield hero, he was the first to be targeted by not only this bitch, but by literally anybody who hated the shield. That being the 3 heroes church, Trash himself, to name a few. But anyway, yeah, basically he was just very, very unlucky. But the way she manipulated him was quite literally playing the sweet girl trope. The helpful companion to the isekai character. And yeah, considering how much of a master manipulator she is, it would work with someone who is unfamiliar with the lands to begin with, an isekai protagonist at the beginning of the series, as well as someone who genuinely feels very interested in the world, someone like Naofumi before being betrayed. So yeah, kind-hearted, pretty much a chill guy. He would get manipulated. I just feel bad for Naofumi because that was his first experience in this world and it was shit. So yeah, that's how Naofumi got manipulated by bitch. And this consequence caused him to get the Wraith Shield and all that. So yeah, it's a catalyst for literally the entire series. For Motoyasu, he's probably the one that had the longest con, since Malty, at the time, needed a cardinal hero. Whichever of the 3, she chose him, since his personality really gave it away that it would be easy to manipulate a dumbass like him. So let's go over at least 2 core reasons as to how he was manipulated. Reason 1, he is a ladies' man kind of guy. In majority, if not his entire party, are filled with women. So he's the kind of protagonist that would want a harem. And clearly, that that alone makes this bitch easiest person to manipulate out of the 4. That's reason 1. Reason 2 is he's kind of an idiot. Or, well, I guess if we want to be nice, he has blind loyalty to his party members. Mainly to her, but yeah, even when she was exposed to be the most terrible person, he was still blindly, or well, stupidly, believing in bitch. And he continued to care for her and for his party, showing that bitch used this manipulation tactic of loyalty until the moment with this god-forsaken creation came into play and made him look pathetic, useless, and just overall embarrassing to want to deal with. So her, along with the other members, just left him. Hell, the biggest twist of all, it was being falsely accused of things he never did, similar to how Naofumi was accused. And it's funny because that's kind of karma for Motoyasu, because he was standing proudly by bitch whenever she accused Naofumi of those things. And now he got like literally the same taste as Naofumi did. So yeah, he's such a fucking moron. I believe those that still hate Motoyasu would say that he deserved this shit. He gave Naofumi way more shit throughout literally season 1. But I think it's kind of tragic since he had to learn the really, really hard way that, yeah, she was and had always been a bitch. Now that we were able to get those two main ones out of our way, let's go with Ren, the second sensible hero, being manipulated due to one specific circumstances that even allowed this scenario to happen, since he's seen firsthand what kind of person she is. He knows she's not to be trusted. And that specific scenario is his entire party being killed. In season 2 of Shield Hero, the Turtle Spirit arc, which fucking hell, I hate talking about this stupid, ugly ass thing. Anyway, he was the only hero who lost his entire party, or wiped out. The main 3 that are dumbasses all went ill-prepared. Even Naofumi, with all the preparations, was barely able to handle the damn thing. And these 3 on their own, with their own parties, going against a giant-ass turtle, or I guess I should say a giant-ass creation of hell, quite literally were not gonna win at all. So losing his party members was a reality check that this isn't a fucking game. And also having people hate him due to how he, Motoyasu, and Itsuki were seen as either fake or worthless heroes. All of this basically made him depressed, as well as dealing with the stages of loss. So when bitch comes into his life again and starts spouting things that are making him feel better, of course he's gonna get manipulated by her. Yeah, normally he wouldn't trust her, but recall that something like losing your entire goddamn party in such a way and seeing their bodies in an unalive state would probably mess you up. Enough to the point that a master manipulator can come and warp your mind. Though, to be fair, he was one of the fastest ones to be ditched from the looks of it, suffering the Naofumi treatment of losing your shit at night kind of ordeal. Hell, she had the audacity to make a note and just pour more salt in the wound, which of course triggered his curse series. Oh man. The bow hero, the one who supposedly fights for justice. Being manipulated by bitch is not surprising, though it is sort of unique to him and how this happened. The way he got manipulated was through the events of this godforsaken goddamn thing, where he wasn't strong enough to even do jack shit to it, which caused his party to abandon him, since they viewed him as the top guy, only to look probably the same patheticness as Motoyasu. So because of this, which also ties to his past of not wanting to be a failure / useless, it caused him to easily be duped by bitch, since she exploited not only his whole justice thing in order to get, well, a bunch of money from him, to which he thought he was getting this money in order to buy the slaves that Naofumi has so he can set them free and be a true hero. But she also took advantage of his desperation, since he does not want to be looked down upon. Looking back at his flashback of his past life, it basically shows that he definitely was given the idea that he'd be something, a hero for justice. But whenever he's looked down upon or he's not good enough, that causes him to slightly self-destruct. Which bitch using that is quite literally the only reason he was able to get duped, since he also was aware of what type of person she was. Due to wanting to feel useful and seemingly looking desperate for people to want him, that desperation was just enough for bitch to not only manipulate his sorry ass, but also steal all of his money like the fucking ass she is. And leaving another letter with not only Ren's was already salt in the wound. This one was just saying, oh, you also have this amount of debt because I just used your name to buy a bunch of shit. So yeah, basically leaving him broke and poor and in debt. That is genuinely worse than Ren's. which I don't like Itsuki, but I feel bad for him in this case. Why? Why do any of this? Why be a manipulative piece of garbage of a human being? Is it because she wants to gain power? Is it because she's just being a dick? Is it because perhaps she has fun messing with people's lives? Or is it just because she feels like it? Well, honestly, I even need to answer this question. She's a bitch. That's why she does all of this. It's because she's a bitch. The consequences of this bitch's deception, manipulation, betrayals actually triggers all of the heroes to get the curse series. Naofumi being the longest in terms of having his curse series since he unlocked Wrath with his whole thing of hating the whole world he's in. We have Ren's curse series being 2 actually, Greed and Gluttony. Lust and Envy going to Motoyasu, and then Pride going to Itsuki. Interesting how this bitch had been one, if not the main core reason for all of the 4 cardinal heroes to gain access to the curse series. Almost like she was born to be a piece of shit of a person. So, yeah, that's how she was able to trick all 4 heroes. Yeah, for the most part, Motoyasu was probably the longest with terms of being manipulated, and clearly his betrayal probably stung, with possibly both Naofumi and Ren being the shortest amount of being fooled by her, with Itsuki kind of being in the middle. Now, whoever had it the hardest, that is almost debatable, as each one of them technically had it the hardest in their own right. But I made this video because since I've seen a lot of people give shit to Ren and Itsuki, I thought, why not go over that this bitch has manipulated all of them, even Naofumi. Yeah, we would defend Naofumi because they literally just got there and he's just being manipulated, like taken advantage of. Motoyasu, hated in season 1. He's currently hated for a whole different fucking thing, if not almost disturbing, but let's not get into that. That's not the point of this video. However, I just think let's make a video on how much of a bitch is.